going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It has officially become winter in Calgary. Overnight, as it usually does, it absolutely dumped a metric F-ton of snow. Actually, it's not too bad. This is pretty par for the course for us up here in Canada Land, at least in this part of Canada. It just took a lot longer to get here this year, which was quite nice. I did enjoy the fall, but now here we are staring down the barrel of, snow piles and parking lots, ice all over the roads, and me with the trailer build that just got underway. What was I thinking? Oh well, it's part of the fun. But anyways, as per usual, it's been a few days since I was able to break any sort of ground on the trailer. I haven't done anything more with the insulation since the last video where I was insulating the trailer. So I can do that, but I'm not going to film too much of that. Although I'm faced with a unique situation right now, and I should have started earlier. So if you're going to do something like this and you end up with a trailer like mine with pressboard as the floor, weatherproof the floor first, because on both sides, inside the trailer and underneath the trailer, it just looks to be bare wood. Like, I imagine the wood is treated to a certain degree to resist water, but constant exposure to it and muck and yuck and whatnot. That's one of the other reasons I didn't pull the trailer out yesterday, is because it was snowing basically all day, and I couldn't imagine all that muck and guck getting kicked up. Now, it's a very lovely day here in Calgary. I've got the trailer, obviously, attached to Grace O'Malley. So my whole idea of having the good ship Lucky to stay warm whilst I build, right out the effing window. Because honestly, there was so much snow, or I should say just enough snow, that when I look at Lucky and then I think about driving Lucky around on these slippery roads with this little trailer bebopping around on her arse, doesn't instill me with a whole lot of confidence. Grace has 4x4 when I get into like sticky situations, and she's just a little bit more nimble and easier to get around with, right? So like this build and stuff, I don't have any space to do it at the Port of Tortuga, right? So I have to come out and do it like I was living in the van, which is part of the fun again, and I do enjoy it. But yeah, it's gonna make it for a little bit more miserable, a little bit more challenging and whatnot. But today, like I said, looks like it's going to be a much nicer day compared to yesterday. And yeah, so insulation still needs to get done. I need to treat that floor. I know how I'm going to do it. That's not going to be today. What we're going to start with today, hopefully, because again, it's nice enough out, and I found a spot here in the Canadian Tire parking lot where they've cleared the snow fairly well, because I'm going to be on my back, is I want to install, oh my goodness, these are heavier than I thought, this cardboard box. No, it's what's inside the box, obviously. They're stabilizer jacks, right? So we'll get those open. We'll take a look at those momentarily. And I have to be really careful. I have to go slow and be a little bit more methodical than I usually am. For a lot of my builds that I've done here on the channel and in my life, like when I built the van both times and now with this trailer, and even when I was like working at a shop as a heavy duty mechanic, I usually threw caution to the wind, not to a crazy extent, but at the detriment of my own well-being, right? I would just do whatever I had to do to get the task at hand done. And that's probably what wound me up needing back surgery with a blown out disc in my back. Now, unfortunately, I'm actually staring down the barrel of a potential disc bulge in my neck area. I saw my chiropractor yesterday, and I've been seeing him for a while now regarding this issue. And I've actually started getting lidocaine injections as well to help deal with the problem. But it's incredible pain, and my chiro is now very convinced that it's a bulged disc. So he gave me a rec form to go get x-rays to start the ball rolling, because x-rays aren't going to show a bulged disc, right? But you need to have x-rays done and out of the way before they will consider you for an MRI. So my body's falling apart. I'm not getting any younger. And while I'm not worried about like rupturing a disc or anything doing what I'm going to do today, I just have to be careful, because if I overexert myself, I will end up in an incredible amount of pain, and that's not fun, ever, regardless of your situation. I've got my little girl tonight. She's going in for some dental work tomorrow. It's a whole thing. I just want to be at my best that I can possibly be. So we're gonna go slow. These should be fairly simple to install, and it shouldn't take any time at all. Another good perk of being in the parking lot of Canadian Tire is if I find myself needing anything, it's just a quick hop, skip, and a jump in there. I've got my important supplies here. I've got my Revita Energy Tea. I've got my impact driver, my bits to go with the impact driver, and some extra batteries that I've been keeping warm in Tortuga. And yeah, I think that's pretty much bringing you up to speed on the state of the weather and this effing trailer build from Calgary, Alberta. So yeah, let's give Grace a break Thank you, darling. Nice thing about Grace is she warms up very quickly. Small engines, small spaces, and all of that. And then once we get that done, I do have something else sitting in the back here that I am excited to get to. You know what? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. One thing at a time. Oh, yeah, see? It's warm sitting in there. I was sweating, but now we're out here and it's breezy. It's not that bad today, but we've, yeah, this is the kind of muck and yuck we have, right? Grace is kicking up all sorts of schmutz, my goodness. I was gonna go to the car wash and blast off the snow on the roof of the trailer and the wheel wells and whatnot, and of course still clean this up, which I haven't done. But then I also got to thinking, I'm like, I can't imagine it's gonna be very good to be getting water all over the trailer and potentially up underneath it, because again, that exposed board. I'm probably overthinking that. I would probably be just fine to go to the car wash, and I might do that a little bit later in the day when it's warmer so we don't freeze everything up. But yeah, I haven't been in the trailer in days. And this, again, I assume that it's treated, the floor, right? There must be some sort of resistance applied to the wood. But, and again, I'm in a good spot today, but my brain was thinking, oh, if I'm out traipsing around in the snow and constantly going in and out of the trailer, then I'm gonna be getting this floor covered in muck and yuck. So that was a concern. So on really yucky days, until I get this floor properly sealed up, I can't really be doing too much. So we're carpe dieming this absolutely gorgeous seeming day. So now, like example, I got my big winter booties on too to keep my feet warm. I've also got my thermal pants on because I'm gonna be crawling around on concrete. Right, that's not so bad. So yeah, like I said, I've been very busy. I haven't gotten anything done since the last video regarding the trailer. So lots to do, lots to do. Oddly enough, I'm sure somebody probably mentioned this in the comments because lots of people are chiming in regarding this build. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate the feedback. Obviously, I can't take everybody's advice or suggestions because it's my trailer and I got to do what's best for me. But little things here and there. I don't know if anybody suggested this yet because as I'm filming this, the installation video hasn't even gone live yet. But when it comes to the wiring, the lights and stuff, you know, down here, I noticed when I was editing, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get around that. How about we just pop an effing hole through the insulation board? It's one of those things where sometimes you're so close to your project, and also when you're, multitasking by filming and yapping at a camera, your brain doesn't fire on all cylinders, sometimes. But that's the beauty of having all of that footage to look back on while I'm editing it. I'm like, hey, I could do this. Anyway, all right, let's get those stabilizer jacks out and see what we're working with. Okay, I ordered 4 of them. There should be 2 in a box because I thought, well, maybe I'll want to put one in all 4 corners. We'll start with just 2 and see, because my trailer is small, right? We may not necessarily need to stabilize the front corners. I'm not sure. I've never installed anything like this. But what I quickly noticed, and these are just off Amazon, I just searched like trailer stabilizer jacks. By and large, there's 2 different kinds that you can get. The ones that I got, which are just these, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Telescoping ones, right? So they just, I don't even know how these work. This is my first time. Let's see. I'm gonna release this, I'm gonna release that. I don't even know. Hold that, like that, there you go, right? So that's pretty straightforward. Initially, this wasn't my first go-to. When I first thought about it, again, in the interest of like keeping it easy with my back and stuff, I looked at other ones, which are scissor jacks, right? Like your traditional ones that come in like your sedans or whatever to change your tire when you have a flat, because then I could use an impact driver and just automatically lower them. And that was great. And I thought, well, this, I'm gonna be down on the ground. I have to use my hands, God forbid, to flip them out and stuff. But after watching a few YouTube videos of people doing this, it didn't seem too bad at all. And these are smaller, way smaller than those scissor jacks. And so those might've been overkill, again, for my size of trailer. Larger trailers, for sure, because they can hold more, excuse me. My goodness. I believe these guys, when stationary, are rated to 1,000 pounds each. So I would say they are probably also overkill, but whatever. I like them as well because they seemed to be a very easy install. Yeah, so holy shit. shit. Well, it makes sense. The screws that came with them, oh, they're not even self-tappers. Good gravy. I don't have a, we're definitely going into Canadian Tire because those are some massive screw heads, right? I got them because these ones are the instructions like, oh, they come with self-tappers. You just zip right up into your frame and you're done. Alternatively, of course, you could drill holes and nut and bolt them, which easy to argue, that's probably better. Now that I'm seeing the size of these suckers and we are outside Canadian Tire, I did load drill bits with me into the Jeep today. Maybe that's what we'll do instead. Maybe we will nut and bolt it. We'll figure that out once we get under there and see what we're dealing with. That was the initial reason I also chose these, because you just slap these in, just and you're done. I do not have a socket with me today that is that big, so we'd have to, at the very least, go get one of those. How hard would it have been to just open the box before I left Tortuga? For anybody interested, this is the brand I went with. This is the little instruction manual that came with them. And now it does say 3/8 self-tapping mounting screws there. I mean, I guess, but in my experience, self-tappers usually have to have like a little drill bit head on the tip here. And that tip just looks like a regular screw, but whatever. I also don't know if my little impact driver would be enough. I might need an actual impact gun. My goodness. We are so prepared. So yeah, these are nice. They just store up underneath the trailer, super simple. And it really is just a matter of pulling and then they snap down. So that would be the deployed position, right? And if you don't know, if you haven't been watching my previous videos, the whole point of these is literally what they're called, stabilizer jacks. Because the cargo trailers, when you're walking around in there, they get quite wobbly, right? So these help eliminate that for when you're actually, well, I was gonna say for when you're camping in the trailer, but for me, they'll help whilst I'm building it as well. So I probably should have done these a lot sooner. It should have been like floor, stabilizer jacks, then everything else. But we're learning. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So it would be on the ground, attached to the frame here. These two holes at the top, that's where the screws go, and then zip right into the frame. And then when you wanna leave, you release, because like I said, they extend as we saw, right? We relieve that. Cold's going to my brain, or at least my mouth. You know, relieve the pressure, collapse them, and then pull them down, and then snap them up into storage position. That's not too bad, especially if I only have to use 2 of them. But since we are adults and can do whatever we want, I am toying with the idea of detaching the trailer from Grace and leaving it here for a second, and then just using the Jeep to rip back to Lucky and get, because I guarantee you I have a 3/8 socket in the van, and I could get my impact gun, which will probably make this much easier. In my experience, if I remain stubborn, go into Canadian Tire, buy what I do not need, and put it on my little impact driver, I will be very stressed out as soon as I'm on my back trying to get those screws in there, because they're so heavy duty. I don't think that little gun could do it. But before that, I do need to point out, let's close up the trailer, letting out all of the heat we don't have. My trailer chains. Thank you to literally everybody who said, cross your chains, it's far safer. Well, I don't know how many people's trailers are popping off, but I thank you for pointing that out. But as I was talking about a few videos back in terms of my chains being long and then looping them just simply through the vehicle end, that's great on Lucky, for sure. But on Grace, that ain't possible. Her little toe assembly here doesn't allow the chains to go through. So now I have to go back to my original assumption here. And I actually think the editor cut this part out of the video after we realized we could loop through this part on Lucky and shorten the chain that way. But I did mention in the very first trailer video, although nobody saw it, because again, I removed it. I was talking about removing this cotter pin down here and shortening the chain on the trailer end. And I'm right back to that now. I'm gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to straighten out these cotter pins, pull these bolts out here, and then pull the links up a bit. So we'll have a little bit more chain flopping on this side, unfortunately. But yeah, we have to for Grace, and Grace is gonna honestly be the one that tows the trailer the most throughout its lifespan with us. And all I can do is this for the Jeep, right? So there's no way to shorten it unless we do it on the trailer side. So I guess we could start with that. We're already on the ground. It's gonna be that kind of day. Good thing we got our Leatherman with us, and it's needle nose pliers. Where the hell did I put it though? All right, reason 7,296 to have one. Shorten up your trailer chains. This is all theoretical. Let's see how many people have an opinion about this. All right, I'm gonna cautiously get down on my side here to take some pressure off of my legs. And then I'm gonna spin this guy around. So these cotter pins are just bent back on themselves so they don't slip out. Ooh, there's not a lot of room to work down here. Let's get the Leatherman. Maybe if we go this way. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Whoops. Hold her steady. Hold her steady. Flatten her out. Damn it. Come here. Ugh. Okay, will you come out now? Darn close. I mean, I could also get new pins from Canadian Tire. Might not be the worst thing. I don't know how rusty or compromised these ones are. My goodness. I could also spin it and pull it instead. Mayhaps. Mayhaps. Oh, you prick. Come on. And come on. Oh, sorry. Smacked you around. But we got it. All right, let's do that one more time. Okay, got both cotter pins out. So now these bolts should just come out no problem. They sure do. And there's our individual link. So now we can shorten this up so that it doesn't drag on the ground. Hopefully it doesn't drag on either end. And then just slap this bolt back in. There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. Back this up a bit, you can kind of see what I did. So we got this excess on this side now, right? But now the chain doesn't drag on the ground. Okay, and then the same on this side. Pop that out. How many did I go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So through the 8th one. This back through. I could reverse these bolts that those cotter pins are easier to get at, but how many times am I gonna have to do this? Really? Hopefully this doesn't make them too short for Lucky. Shouldn't, but there we go, right? Now our chains are like that, although I'm sure people are gonna want them to be tighter like this so that if my trailer completely fails, this falls down into this. But again, here we go. All right, I don't know if I can force these old cotter pins back through. Oh my God, these gloves are terrible. Where did I get these things? They're all like demented fingertips. My goodness. Yeah, I have to straighten those out a bit. But I'm currently in this position, and in the interest of remaining kind to myself, let's sit the F up. Take the pressure off my neck. Whew. And slow down just a little bit. Woo-saw. Woo-saw. Okay. I did flip that inner pin, or the bolt or whatever, just to make putting these ones back in a little easier. Now we should be able to just feed this through here. There we go. Right? No mas, no fuss. Turn that a bit so it doesn't fall out. And then hold it on this side and use the Leatherman to bend that guy. Maybe do it like this. There. Right? Now he's bent, and that guy won't come out again. Very good. Getting stuff done when we forget a bunch of stuff at the port. Okay, so both of those are switched around. Our chains are much shorter. However, the trailer is now detached from the Irish Pirate Queen. And I appreciate everybody's comments. Please leave more of them. Make sure you click like, make sure you're subscribed. All that stuff really helps the channel out, and I do appreciate it. But man, y'all must be going to some real sketch campgrounds with some really horrible people. Everybody was very worried about the trailer getting stolen. But yes, I mean, I didn't think I had to show it off. But again, it's all coming from a good place. The trailer did, in fact, come with a hitch lock. So we can get this installed now because we're leaving it in the parking lot in a big city. Still, I have no concerns, but I guess better safe than sorry. So yeah, these things are super cool. Just goes into the hitch ball and then latches from up top, and then nobody can put your trailer on their hitch while this is installed. I've had it since the beginning. I just didn't know I had to talk about every single thing. But here we are. Now's as good a time as any to show off exactly how this bad boy works, right? It just detaches like that. You put this bad boy up in here, close it up, and then, I don't know, is this the right way? I haven't actually used this yet since I got it, but I imagine like that is just fine. Cinch her down, right? Lock. Wait, that's, oh, there you go. Way easier than I thought. Right. Unlock, and then pull, yep. So tighten that bad boy down, she's locked. Now nobody can F off with the trailer, because it's a little bit of a clip back to Tortuga from here. So I'm gonna do that real fast. Grab the 3/8, you know what, I say that out loud. I'm gonna grab one of those screws and then make sure I have the right bit with me, because I really don't need to be buying any more bloody sockets. That's for darn sure. Come with me, won't you? Hello, Lucky. I'm back. A lot earlier than I thought I would be. Okay, I want to assume that this impact driver is going to be enough. Let's see here. Kind of depends on the drive of the bit that I use. All right, these aren't measured in 3/8, these are measured in millimeters. I don't know offhand which one it is. Ooh, maybe 15? 16 was a damn close guess. 15? I mean, 3/8 would definitely be better. That's a lot of give in there. I'm assuming 14 is just going to be... Oh! Never mind. 14 it is. And this is that drive. Do we think this guy's going to be powerful enough? Because I do have... Ooh, where is it? That's not it. That's a saw. That won't help. Ooh, well... I've got a 1/2-inch drive, but then I would need an adapter. Let's just pray this is enough, shall we? All right, back to the trailer. Look, the hitch lock worked. Trailer's still here. What more could you ask for? It is way easier to line Grace up with this bad boy than Lucky, unfortunately. But it is what it is. All right, we'll just leave her detached for now, I guess. Let's go get some stabilizers installed. Did the plan anyway. Okay, I got everything I need here. I just have the jack, 2 screws, the tool that I need, and then the trailer's actually at a little bit of a angle this way because the jack's so high, but I do have the wheel chock on. I might have to lower it down though. I don't know if I can get under here. Where are we going? Oh, okay, so right here. So this is really my only option. Either here, ooh, that's not gonna work, or all the way back here. The thing you gotta remember is, man, when you put it here, you're really, you're lessening, or I guess reducing would be a good word, your ground clearance. I had a couple people mention that I should flip my axle, which I didn't know what the hell that meant. I had to look it up as well. Squirrel moment. But if you look here, we've got leaf springs, right? And flipping your axle just means moving the leaf spring to the top of the axle. It's a whole ordeal. You need a kit and everything, but it's completely doable, and that actually increases your clearance, right? I don't know, it might be something to look into. Definitely not something I'm doing today. And I feel like, unfortunately, let's grab this bad boy and see what we got here. It's gonna be hard to sort of film this, but this bit of frame here, that's way too thin. As you can see, there's no, well, I mean, maybe. This would be a better one to nut and bolt to though, right? Go like that, or I could install it here. I think it's better to do them like this though. But then yeah, that really reduces your ground clearance. Zoink Scoob. When I wonder why I'm sick later, remind me of this moment. I mean, That's not terrible if I did it right there. Right? Then it's easy enough to get at. Although I might have to lower the jack a bit because even right now I don't think I have enough clearance to pull it down and flip it. I don't. Hang on, I'm gonna lower that jack a little bit. Bring the trailer's arse up just a wee bit. Science. Right, so now, yeah. Hold this here, pull it. Can I even? Still can't. Wow. I need to know if that's possible. I mean, I guess I can always just continue to lower. I don't want to overthink this, but I also don't want to have to do it more than once. And I'm using the hand crank flat jack right now. I have not removed it yet. It comes in way more handy with my situation than I thought when I have to continue to swap the trailer from vehicles to, or one vehicle to the other. Oh yeah, there we go. Pull that down. Whoops. There we go. So you're gonna be there, and then we pull you. What's going on here? Right, there we go. Okay, not the worst. Okay, I think we're gonna put it here. Ooh, how the hell? I'm only gonna be able to get one screw in, I think. There's this little metal piece right here. I'm not gonna be able to get the gun there. I actually knew about that. Ah, damn. I don't have an impact angle or anything. I mean, I could go see if Canadian Tire has one of those. That might be beneficial. Shoot! Because the only other option is to get a hand, like a little wrench in there and just freaking do it like this. Oh my gosh. See? Every single time I go out to do one of these projects, something always rears its freaking head. And yeah, I won't be able to get at the bolt in there because this thing interferes, right? I can get it this side, no problem. Well, actually, I say that, but holy shoot, ball. I need an extension almost. Darn it. And an angle guy for this one because there ain't no way that's working. Son of a beeswax. I think nut and bolt would be easier. Hi, boy. I do have a drill bit that would, in theory, work, but then I'd have to buy more hardware. I think what I might try to do instead, and instead of getting an angle impact, like I don't know what's called a universal joint or whatever, so that the thing can bend, I might just get myself a ratcheting 14mm wrench. And what I'll do is I'll put this where I want it. I'll get this first screw installed, then try to mark where the other one needs to go. Take this out, start the screw with the gun, take it out, get this back up there, put that one back in, then get this one started, and then just use the ratcheting wrench. A ratcheting wrench would be way better in this situation because once you get that wrench in here, having to take it down every single time is obnoxious. So hopefully Canadian Tire has one, and I can show you exactly what I mean if you're not familiar with stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So which side? Oh, it's the outside too, of course. All right, well, I'm definitely gonna need an extension because I can't, well, I could definitely try. You could even extend this thing so that it supports itself. So yeah, and I know that you want these to flip inwards. Obviously, you don't want it flipping out on you. That would be silly business. And then, yeah, okay. We're doing great. All right, well, let's just see. Don't overthink it, just do it. This is where we discover that this impact gun isn't going to be strong enough. Yeah, exactly what I thought was going to happen is happening. These screws that came with this made in China effing stabilizer from Amazon are barely tickling this piece of metal frame. Son of a... I'm gonna have to drill a hole. Hopefully those drill bits, or not the drill bits, but the drill bits. Don't second guess yourself, sir. Hopefully they fit in the impact driver that I brought. Because I don't have a proper drill with me either. But we got a little hole started. You probably can't see it. It's very tiny. Size isn't everything. Everybody just calm down. Okay, I think we're in luck. Got the impact driver here, and yeah, these drill bits. Shout out to One Aussie's Adventure for leaving these behind in Big Fella oh so long ago. They snap right in. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Hope you're doing well, Ian. I'm gonna make a hole in this frame, hopefully. Ooh, the drill bit really didn't like it. It's bending all sorts of craziness. I don't have glasses on, don't look right at it. Okay, is that enough of a hole? Oh shit. Okay, well nobody said they were expensive drill bits. That's crazy. Well, we can just stuff it back in. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, where were we? Now that we've made a hole, see if this will go in. Oh yeah, okay. Fuck. It's really not going. I don't think this impact gun is powerful enough. I'm gonna need my 1/2-inch drive. Son of a biscuit. We're doing great. Just making a racket in the Canadian Tire parking lot. But there's the hole that we've started. This frame actually isn't that thick. But yeah, this little wee bloody gun can't get this bad boy up in there. We don't have enough turkey juice. So I don't want to go all the way back to Lucky. That's insanity. We've definitely tried. We've put out a good old college try today. We're now laying on the pavement in winter in Canada land outside a Canadian Tire. No, I never see my days going like this. Why do you ask? It's so far back to Tortuga again to get that. I think maybe in this instance, and this is the beauty of my YouTube channel, that's why I don't ever label my videos as, this is how you install stabilizer jacks. No. I find videos like that, watch other people do it, and then I F the coconut here on my channel trying to emulate them. It's usually more entertaining than educational, and that's fine. But I think in this instance, again, with everything I said about my back and whatnot, we're gonna put a pin in this. I see what I have to do. I now know the tools that I need on hand. I'll probably still go in and fire truck. Get myself a ratcheting 14 mil, because I'm still gonna need one, right? Yes, I am. But I need a more powerful gun. So I need an adapter for that bit, or I need to get a bigger bit, blah, 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 blah. I will make a checklist and I'll make sure I have everything in order to get those installed for the next episode. And we'll do those stabilizer jacks then to kick things off or whatever, because I'll give my back a break, right? I gotta start worrying about my physical well-being, which is obnoxious to my stubborn side, but it is what it is. And yeah, maybe we will chat about that other thing that's in the back of the Jeep. So let me get this stuff put away, and then we'll chat about that thing in the back of the Jeep. There are no words. I think I just called my Jeep a Jeek too. My goodness. I need an adult. Okay, so believe it or not, I do want to have this trailer ready to go for winter camping. The more I film this, the more I realize that might not be a reality for this winter, but that is what I want to get it prepared for. So insulation, and then obviously a way to heat it. And I know some people have suggested it'd be really cool to get like a wood burning stove or something in here. And I do love the concept of a wood burning stove and the coziness that it would bring to a small space like this. But that's definitely gonna have to have a pin put in it for like a future build that I do, because I've got the cats. I like bringing the cats camping with me. And I can't imagine having a wood burning stove in this space. I mean, I'm sure the cat would learn to stay away from it. But again, this trailer is on the smaller side, so I'm sorry to disappoint a lot of people. We will not be doing a wood burning stove. I have a lot of experience with diesel heaters. Some might say too much, and that would be a good reason to not be farting around with them anymore. But I came across this one on Amazon from a company that I am aware of, which I'm sure a lot of people are, but I've never used their products. And this is not a sponsored video. They did not send this to me. This was actually gifted to me by a very generous subscriber. And when I saw it, I thought, huh, that's different enough that it might just work. Because in my brain, what I would love to do is keep as much of that heating unit, the F, out of the trailer as I possibly can. We got all this space at the front here. I have this much interest in putting any sort of propane tanks on the front here, like other camper trailers. That's not my jam. I don't like jam. I like honey. That's a lie. I love jam, especially my mom's homemade strawberry jam. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This space here could absolutely be utilized for something like that, I hope. And that brings me to the actual diesel heater. So this guy right there. So it's from Bouge RV, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. I know that they sort of came into the space of overlanding and whatnot with 12-volt refrigerators. And now here they are with a portable diesel heater. And like, it's not exactly revolutionary. There have been all-in-one diesel heaters before. But from what I've noticed, unless you're like really loosening your purse strings, it's still just gonna be one of those Chinese diesel heaters. Now, to be fair, I can't read it, but it looks like Chinese writing to me. So maybe Bouge RV is a Chinese company as well, which would then mean that this is in fact still a Chinese diesel heater. Clear as mud. I've never used the all-in-one units, but from a company that seems to be pretty good at what they do, I thought it would be a great time to see if one of these units would work for me. All I would have to do in theory is blow a hole somewhere in this area for the heating duct to come in, and then the wires that power it to the battery on the inside. But then the whole damn thing can just sit out here. Fuel pump, it's super annoying and tick, 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 tick. I learned to live with it, sure, but if you don't have to, why would you? The exhaust is all out here. I don't have to blow holes in the floor of the trailer to get that stuff out. And then the diesel tank itself on the outside. Just ask Happy Coffee Van Life how much fun it is to spill diesel on the, hell, ask me. I did my fair share of diesel sloshing all over Lucky in the first few years that I was living in her. It's not ideal unless you're absolutely in love with the smell of diesel. So let's crack this box open and see how it looks once we get it out and exactly how big it is, because I do know this, you're not gonna wanna just take this and mount it to the outside. You're gonna want some sort of box to contain it. So what size box do we need? How will we know until we open it? It's not exactly windy, but I never really used my door latch. So let's, nailed it. Okay, the Leatherman back out. It's doing work today. I mean, we're not getting anything done, but the Leatherman's doing work, so that's nice. All right, what all comes in a box? I assume the diesel heater. Oh, wow, okay, cool. So we got a user manual, keep that on hand, just to familiarize myself with it. Got ourselves a remote up here. That is super cool, very simple. A little bit bigger than the ones I'm used to. Get rid of these effing gloves. They're just gonna make me a little bit more demented when I'm trying to get into tiny plastic bags. Oh my gosh. You know what? No, my man hands are too large and weird today. Yeah, a little bit bigger, feels, yeah, like cheap plastic. So in here's probably, I would assume, all of our power cords and stuff. I'm curious, on the Amazon listing, it shows that it can be plugged into a power station, which is something that I've always been curious about, right? My entire experience with diesel heaters, I've had them wired in to 12-volt systems, and that's like how they're intended to work. I know some people have jerry-rigged them together in the past to work with power stations, and would you look at that, it absolutely does. It comes with a 12-volt plug. Now, I know not all power stations are gonna have the output through their 12-volt port. I've got the Eco 3, good gravy. The EcoFlow Delta 3 Plus, the little guy with me today. So I don't know if we're gonna get that far, but if we do, we will test that out. Because for now, it would be great to be able to have heat in the trailer just for while I'm building. What do we have in here? Oh, this is another power source for it. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Okay. So if you want to plug it into a wall outlet, well, shit, I could just do that with a power station, couldn't I? Well, obviously, that's going to use more power, I would assume, because it's got that big old brick on it, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Well, maybe we should just keep all this stuff together. end up with a huge mess on our hands. We've got a vent to install for the ducting on the inside of the trailer here, so that's a ways off for sure. What's in here? Come on. Ooh, wait, oh, it's our muffler for on the outside. Okay, cool, with a C-clamp or whatever, or a hose clamp ring. Okay. We got some exhaust pipe, as you do. Okay. Ooh, it's got a threaded tip on it. Nice. I don't know why I'm so impressed with that. Probably because I've never seen one like that before. More book of words. Over here we've got the connection to the, okay, so this would be for your 12-volt battery or a fuse box that is connected to a 12-volt battery, which will ultimately probably be what I do as like the final version of this. This is really cool. Just the simple fact that this comes with these different options for connecting. A bunch of hardware to mount up the ducting and the exhaust pipe, so there we go. Good Lord, another book of words. Well, this is just a page of words telling you exactly how to use this stuff. That's so kind of them. All right, maybe I'll keep this box. We'll put everything back in there. And here is the beast itself. Let's get this, oh, okay, it's not too heavy. Open her up. Get a look at it here. Wow. Okay, we got little carry handles on top. This, as far as I understand it, is our exhaust port. Okay, so it's threaded, so that's how the exhaust pipe goes in. Here is our, what is the heck? Huh. So that's the controller as well. It's a very short cable. Interesting. So then down here, yeah, 12 volt, 24. So all of them connect here because all of the wiring, the three different options that came, they all have that port on them, which looks very similar to solar cables. Wonder if you could run it straight off solar cables. Probably not. Okay. Over here, we got some words. And then apparently my only concern, not my only concern, I got lots of concerns. It's only a 5-liter tank. So that's very small. As an example, the tank that I have in Lucky is a 15-liter tank. But one of the bullet points on this guy, and I believe it was even on the box here, I thought I saw it. Yeah, right? So where is it? It's got low consumption. So it would, they say, I believe it can run for about 3 days. I can't remember if that's consistent use or only at night. But off 5 liters, that sounds crazy. But yeah, I guess that's it. Like, that's super simple, right? Like, there's not even a way to get in here. Like, it is sealed right up. Oh, is this supposed to be up here? Oh, okay, this is a little curious. So that's supposed to mount up here. You got this little mount here, and the controller just slides in there. I would be a little worried about this getting cold. I wonder what its resistance is like, because all of the advertisement, all of the marketing for this thing shows this sucker on the outside, and of course, in true marketing fashion, they have it sitting like in front of a beautiful snowy mountain range, so winter, right? So it should be able to handle it. Well, this is not going to take much to get set up. We just got to get some diesel in there. And would you look at that? Diesel over yonder. Before we fill it up with diesel, oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's so small. Like, yeah, like there's no way to really get this on here by itself anyway, right? So you're definitely gonna want a box to put it in. But my concern would be the box has to be big enough, right? To allow some, well, you could install a vent so that the box always gets fresh air. But this is essentially gonna have to live here. And because I've got the V-bow on the trailer, it kind of has to sit to this side so that the ducting that's going to be here, like I'm going to end up blowing a hole right through this. And I know they make boxes like for trucks and stuff that have this diamond guard on them. I think that's what that is, right? It's just to like, it just gives it resilience against rocks and stuff. But I would need quite a large box, and I don't really, I don't know, maybe instead of an enclosed box, no, I was gonna say maybe instead of an enclosed box, it would be cool to just have a platform here and have this sit on the platform and you just attach it when you need it. But I think then this would risk getting damaged in transit. Again, you could keep it in the trailer during transit. Ooh, that's not terrible. Because I'm just worried about the size of the box, right? I don't know if it makes sense from the angle that you see. I'll try to place this here and show you what I'm talking about. right? I don't know how well this is going to come across on the camera in terms of dimensions and stuff, but if the heater is sitting here, and it kind of has to be like, I'll use my foot to hold it up here, like that's where I imagine it being, right? So then the ducting attaches to that end and goes straight through into the trailer to heat the space. This has to sit here. Well, you can't have a box that's exactly that size. It would have to be fairly wider this way and that way, right? So that could fit in there and still have room to move. And I've got this jack on here. I guess that's a good argument for even more comments that were left for me for the people that said, well, just replace your center mast flat jack with a wheel, right? My only problem there is that then it's not a swing away jack, and this bad boy would still be in the way of Grace's tailgate, right? So that would be a good argument for it though. Get rid of this, because right now this bad boy is completely in the way of any sort of box that would be big enough to house the heater. Oh well, either way, we're not doing that today. So let's just do an experiment, fill that sucker up with diesel, and see if we can get it powered up with a little EcoFlow. It's easy enough to hold with one hand. Oh, pay at pump unavailable. Is that all of them? Because I don't know how much I need to spend. Oh no, this side's good. Okay. Come over here, you bastard. Another reason you wouldn't want to have this just exposed and be driving around with it is that controller, right? Give me some diesel, would you? Hopefully there's nothing else I had to do to prepare this. Just gonna do this, fill it up. It says it's a 5-liter tank. We shall see. God, that is not a lot of diesel. 3.4. Diesel's so sudsy. Oh, geez, 3.8. We can go. Come on. Need another liter. 4 liters. I guess I don't have to fill it, but it'd be nice to know if it actually takes 5. That is not a big tank. I'm just going to do 4.5 for now. That's getting pretty full. So 4.5 liters cost me $5.96. Not so bad. All right. Make sure that's on there nice and tight. Now let's not slosh it around too much just in case. I don't know how this seal is. Whew. Look at our little setup. Here we go. Just be careful on the ice. Can't imagine that would do any good for my back. This. Okay. That guy here. And now, let's get our... I mean, it's not probably much point in me putting this on right now. Not for a test, but we'll do it anyway. But yeah, if I did get this in a box and you could cut a little hole for this to come out of the box. Straighten your effing thing, make it easier. I wonder if, and they absolutely should, if Bouge RV sells like more of these. Because if this got all clogged up and gross, you definitely want that. And I mean, I don't know. I've never seen an exhaust hose with these threads on it before, so. Okay. I'm just gonna have that kind of go down there. Power. I've been using this little guy to charge Lucky's house battery. It's been working pretty well. All right, we got 90%, so that should be more than enough if this little guy is capable. We do have 2 different ways of testing it. I definitely want to try out the 12-volt port first, and then if that fails, we can always use the AC power. And then hopefully the display will tell us exactly how much we're using as well. Hoi. Grace, you're a mess. Okay, so how do I turn that side on? I've never used this side. Oh, it's got its own button, that's how. Cool. Let's put that there, and let's get us, where is it? Oh, it's this one, yeah. I better read, I don't know, like here's the other thing too. I mean, I can't imagine there's a lot of hose in there. There's gotta be some. I wonder if you have to prime this little sucker. Okay, let's give it power first. See if that works. And then yeah, for those that might be wondering like what I'm referring to, but like, oh, why wouldn't the power station have enough power? 12-volt connections, like cigarette lighters, a lot that from what I've read is a lot of these power stations don't put out, I believe it's, I want to say 15, maybe it's amps, but it's not enough to start these diesel heaters. But maybe Bouge RV has cracked the code on that. But they have a disclaimer even on their Amazon listing that it needs to be a specific power station. Or not a specific one, but one that is capable of that sort of output. Okay, let's plug that in. Does that bring our diesel heater to life? Not yet. Is there a power button? Yeah, I better read the book of words. Okay, so turning on the heater, power on. Press the power knob, which is the one that says time, and the screen will light up and the buzzer will sound once. Release the button to turn on the heater. That's literally it. Nothing else. Or alternatively, I could use the remote. So there is no just display that is on, eh? Interesting. Okay, well, let's see. The one that says time. Well, it's this one over here. So press it. Okay. Oh, and it immediately gives us time. I don't know if you can see that or not. Like I said, not a product review, but people might be interested. So I'll show you as much as I can. As much as my camera will see. My goodness. Ah, the beauty of shooting outside in the world. Got a giant truck pulled up next to us, but it is what it is. Hopefully the microphone does a good, decent job of cutting out his crazy engine. All right, let's see. That just literally is turning this on and off. But how to get past this time? I don't know yet. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. That was a whole bunch of stuff. My goodness. Ooh, look at that. Hopefully that's coming through on the camera. So, my God. We've got, okay. The little fan just came on. Is this thing? Oh yeah, it's working. This, the air is sucking in. Do I feel it coming out the other side yet? Absolutely. So now we're just waiting for the pump to turn on. So we've got ignition indicator activates. That's this icon up here. Cool. And preheating set test process starts. We got a little fire heater core. It's down to 11 volts though. Oh yeah, how much power are we pulling? Does it show? We're pulling 110 watts basically. Okay, yeah, we got lots of air coming out of here. So now we just got to wait for the fuel pump to start and hopefully all good things. Nothing coming out of the exhaust yet. I haven't heard the fuel pump kick on yet. We don't have an icon for the fuel pump lit up yet. So give this a minute, see what happens. Oop, that didn't take long at all. So it's pumping away. It is loud. It is very loud. Still pulling 111 watts. Okay, so there's no error code or anything being displayed on the screen. And again, I'm not familiar with this display yet. I will get very familiar with it, I'm sure. But so far, the way this thing just behaved, and it behaved just like my heater in Lucky does when there's an issue. It stopped the fuel pump for a brief period of time, and now it started it up again. So I'm wondering if that's not enough power from the EcoFlow to get this bad boy going. Like it's really hard to tell based on what I can see here, but we have not had ignition yet. So if this does fail and give me any sort of error code, maybe that specific power station doesn't work. So then we could try we'll try the AC one if that is the case. Because my concern is that that's really low. It's saying like 11 volts, and it's even gone down to like 10.7. And that would be concerning if you were attached to like a 12 volt battery, but we're attached to this power station and it's so hard to tell. But, oh, yeah. Definitely haven't used much power. So this might be a case of this port not having enough juice. It could also be a case of me already overthinking the situation. Let's shut up and give it a minute. I don't know, I think we might be good. I saw a little bit of exhaust come out. The exhaust is hot. The air coming out the other side is definitely warm. So far, it's very exciting. I don't know, but it might be all systems go here. Off of a power station without any sort of like crazy jerry-rig wiring or anything. This could be very cool. I better move that exhaust away before I melt my my weather stripping there or whatever. But it's working great. It's been going for just under 10 minutes or something now, still on full blast. And you can see now that the glow plug is warmed up, it's only pulling around 50 watts. So half of that. Now what should happen, I would assume, if I drop this down, that's super cool. The little display just changes that arc on the left to show how hot you have it. Like, it's probably not gonna, I can't imagine it's gonna adjust itself very well, simply because I got the door wide open, but we'll see. It was on full blast. I wanna see if it'll calm itself down. Probably won't. It'll probably have to sense the area reaches the temperature you want it to be at. It's gonna be a lot harder for this little sucker to do with me having the door wide open. But in that book of words is everything you need to know. I was just flipping through it in terms of like pairing the remote and setting the time on that thing. And there's probably timer settings that you can then send or set up. I would be super interested to see if I could get those timer settings to work. I remember way back in the day, I don't even know if I filmed it, but with my diesel heater in Lucky, I was trying to get the timer set so that it would run all night, and then at a certain point in the morning, it would turn off, because that was one struggle I had early on in my van life. Is during the winter months, it would be very chilly at night, but in the morning, not in the winter months, but in the fall, it'd be warm enough around like the time you're waking up that you don't need the heater on anymore. Long story short, I can never get that timer function to work, and it had a lot to do with the fact that it was very confusing the way it was laid out with the display. It wasn't just straightforward, oh, on time, off time. There was very stressful. So I'd be super curious to see if this works a little bit smoother, because this definitely has the feel of something a little bit more premium, but it's not at that premium price point of like Wabastos and stuff. I will say this right off the hop, one thing I don't like, and I don't think there's anything on the display that would indicate it, is that because it's all this, it's a completely sealed unit, there's no way to see your diesel fuel level. So you wouldn't really know if you're about to run out or not. Obviously, the more time I spend with it and the more I use it to stay warm and stay alive, I will, find a rhythm and figure out what makes sense. Is it slowing down? No. And then, just top it up, like from the roto packs on the side of Grace before I go to sleep or something like that, so that you don't run out of diesel in the middle of the night, right? That's how I would approach that. But anyways, I love the fact that it worked right off with that 12-volt plug off of the power station. And I completely forgot that it came with the wall plug as well. So multitude of options. So far, so good. Lots of heat being pumped out. This could be a game changer just for the build itself. I could just, there's no way I can do this right now and even make it funny, but I could just rig it so that little pipe is just sticking out like it is and keeping the space warm. And I could just be in here insulating the place. Also, it would keep the floor nice and dry. So I definitely need to tidy up the trailer, for sure. And I think before we F off to do anything like that, I'm gonna make that quick rip into Canadian Tire. Not only do I wanna get that ratcheting wrench, but we could look at a box, potentially. Maybe we'll take some, do I have my tape measure with me? I don't think I do. I think it's in my other jacket. Past Matthew's just terrible at planning. But I could take some measurements and see about what kind of boxes that they have in there. I know they got some, but I don't know about the size that we're working with. Hold the phone. I was just thinking. I don't know if this is a good idea or bad idea, because they're kind of flimsy-ish. But you see what I'm thinking? You see where my brain's at? Because there's already a hole where this vent is. Could you not put a little platform on here, or remove this little, that's a light. Is it a light? Does that light up? It might. I have to double check. But this thing looks like you could put it up here. I'm so excited. I can't pick it up right now. I probably could. Let's move this around here. Whoop. Oh, it's slowing down. Did it power off? Oh shit, it powered off. I pulled the plug out at the back. Ill-advised. I didn't pull it out on purpose. Oh shit. Yeah. It didn't get to do its power down cycle, and now it's angry at me. This situation, very familiar with something like this. It's powering back up actually right now, I think, now that I've plugged it back in. or just the fan is clearing it out. Okay, so make sure you turn it off. I mean, to be fair, I thought I could move the EcoFlow without that happening. So yeah, that plug, unfortunately, the one that goes right in back here, that is not very secure. Easily slips out. Obviously, you just saw me move that power station and I barely moved it. So anyways, word of caution for that. But I'm gonna get this thing powered up and then powered down properly and see. But yeah, you could totally just put it here and then have your ducting come in there. Could you not? Now, with how I want the layout in my trailer to be, that's not the most ideal place for my heat to be coming. Because I'm not giving away too much, because I mean, I'm not married to anything yet in terms of ideas, but that would be like right underneath the bed potentially, and that's not fun. Up here at the front is a much better option because then the heat comes in and blows all over the cab, but I'm just saying, you could, because there's already a hole behind that vent. I don't know. It's worth pursuing just a little bit, just to know, you know? Hi. Okay, let's just unplug this now that it's all done doing its thing. But yeah, right? You'd have it, oh, you know, wouldn't really work on this side, unfortunately, I suppose, because it would have to be like this, and then the exhaust pipes towards the cab. Because if you did it like this, which, look at that, that's almost like a perfect fit. Right? Your ducting would have to go like this. So that's not the greatest. Why'd they do it that way? Why couldn't they have reversed it? You could do it on the other side, but then you'd have to blow a new hole in the wall. I was trying to go with what holes already existed in the trailer. But it's a perfect, like, I mean, look, if you remove that little marker light there, that is like the perfect space for it, right? Super cute. And that would be super easy to just like, you could latch it down here when you get to camp. And then when you got to move, you just unlatch it and just frickin' toss it back in the trailer, right? Not such a terrible idea. This could still work. I could just blow a hole here and have the vent come bloody here, but it's always better to have it a little bit lower because, you know, heat rises and all that. See? Sometimes I'm a scientist. All right, we're getting way off track. Okay, in the past I've seen them back here, those boxes that I was talking about. I just don't know what they have right now. Yeah, stuff like that. But that's obviously for a truck bed. That's not what I want. I just want a little bit more of a simpler box. That one up top, it's too big. And honestly, too big this way, but probably not wide enough that way for how I would need the diesel heater. This might be if I do this, if I go this route with a box, might be a trip to Princess Auto. Because these ones are specific. Oh, there's a trailer one. $400! I don't need to spend $400 to secure my diesel heater. My goodness. For that price, the idea of just having a platform is very appealing. Okay, and wrenches should be here. Oh my gosh. Hopefully they sell them individually. They do. Excellent. And... ooh. Do they even have a 3/8? Oh, 3/8 is clearly not the size I need. That is way too tiny. So 14 it is. Right there. You little sucker. And unfortunately, the only one they had was this one with the adjustable head on it, which isn't the most ideal, but it should still work the way I want it to. In theory. So yeah, there's the stabilizer, right? And then we will eventually get that big ass screw in there. And then this guy can just come right in here, snap on there, and rickety ratchet, get that effing thing attached. You are my Everest. But for now, it's Tuesday, and I'm hungry. And Grace is still detached from the trailer. That can only mean one thing. Well, that doesn't help since they got rid of printed bags, but this'll do. Boom. Oh, hello. I don't know how much of a fan I am of this bloody new sippy cup lid they have here. I mean, it's better than a paper straw, but I have a feeling I'm just going to spill this shit all over myself. What do you know? Great success? I did not. Oh, just had a vent post on Patreon because I also had to get hangers for my Christmas decorations while I was in Canadian Tire. Because God forbid they put any hangers in the giant boxes of ornaments that I purchased from Superstore for my tree back at Tortuga. Why are we not talking about this? Why is this a thing that we have allowed to happen as a society? No hangers with the ornaments? I'm really truly hoping that somebody just stole the hangers out of the 2 boxes that I happened to have purchased. Because that's demented. Yeah, I know there's more hangers in the kit that I bought, but I don't need a million hangers kicking around the house. Yes, I do feel better. Happy Taco Tuesday. I'm still very happy that I'm not sick and tired of Taco Time's tacos. It was basically my first job. Technically delivering flyers was my first job, but my first job that I had for a very extended period of time, Taco Time. And I worked at my fair share of fast food places back in the day, and I definitely got a little bit more sick of them. But Taco Time, nay. Anyway, I'm gonna sit here in my cargo trailer in the parking lot of Canadian Tire, eat my tacos because I can. So I'm gonna leave this one here. I'm gonna continue to be kind to myself and not put myself through any more stress today. I gotta start taking care of myself that way and not put myself through the grinder when it comes to these projects. It'll get done, it'll just get done at a slower pace. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.